Hey guys, Jessica here. So today we're going to be talking about the Willow Go. The Willow Go has gotten some updates. This is not a new pump, and these are not substantial changes to the pump itself. But the culmination and the final tally on the updates that it's gotten over the last 3 months are totally worth talking about because they did address quite a few of the issues with this and quite a few consumer complaints. It really looks like Willow is trying to take some time and invest in the Willow Go, which we hadn't seen there for a while. When the Willow Go launched, it had really good cycle speeds, really good suction, but it was prone to overheating. They do seem to have taken away a couple things. So they took away some of the rapid charging. These pumps are not charging the way that they used to, which I think is a good thing. Rapid charging is a good idea in theory, but rapid charging makes the pump more prone to overheating. Reality is you can plan for how to charge your pump. You can charge your pump on the go. You can use battery packs. You can do things that allow you to keep your pump operational without rapid charging. Rapid charging was causing issues. Rapid charging was causing overheating. You could actually feel like if you were touching this pump right after it had been charging, this whole area right here was really hot. The battery was really hot. So then what would happen is people would take a pump that was already hot, they'd throw it in their bra, they would then use it. They'd use it on higher suction. It would cause it to overheat. We would see lots of motor death. These pumps were not lasting. Willow was still honoring their warranties as long as you bought it from an authorized retailer and had a valid warranty. Willow will send you as many of these as you need during your pumping journey. For all my complaints about Willow, their customer service is not one of them, and I have yet to see somebody with a valid warranty not get it covered. I never say never because all pump companies could go down the wrong path, but all in all, it's been pretty good. So rapid charging is gone. What we do see is that the last software update brought the suction up. So we got faster cycle speeds, we got better suction. I'm not seeing as many issues with that. I've got more people seeing more milk. I've got more people seeing more success with this. They also added a new container. So this has a built-in leak guard. One of the issues that we had with the previous Willows, let me pull one of the old containers. So the only thing stopping milk from getting up to this gigantic hole, this hole did not need to be that big. This was a design flaw in the original one. They should never have gone with a big open pour spout like that with only that little lip. That was a design flaw. What they've done now is they basically elevated this lip to put this little rubber band around it, and they've got this. Now, if you go back and look at some of the stuff we said in our group back from when this launched, we said do not plug the hole on the go. And the reason for that was that if you plugged the hole on the go, this was now an airtight container. But this is not a pump using constant suction. So every time it pulls, air is going into this container. If there's an opening for the air to get out, no big deal. If there's no opening for the air to get out, then what happens is the air is going to expand in here and it's going to push this apart. So we actually saw that people were like exploding their containers. That was a thing. Sticking silly putty in the top of your pump, sticking random 3D printed stuff in the top of your pump, and then expecting it not to have issues was not realistic. But this has an air channel built up at the top. So this did not make a new leak-free pump. The fact that this appears to be closed, it is not airtight. Do not come crying when you bend all the way over like this is a Willow 360, which it is not, and you end up with milk coming out. But before, you had a very limited range of motion. So if you bent over to this point, milk could actually come out of here, and it came out in large quantities, like spilling out because it's a giant hole. Here, if you bend all the way over and get the milk all the way up there at the top, it can dribble out. That's a huge difference. So I think this is really good. It's not affecting suction. It's not causing any additional heat. I ran it with a thermal camera for several runs to see did we get any different results, and we got no different results. So this container, huge upgrade. I really like it. It does mean that when it's in your shirt, there is something that's kind of poking out. So I do think that hopefully over time they will make that a little bit better. Maybe they'll move it a little bit down. I don't know. Willow doesn't really like to change things, which is why we're still dealing with the same flaws in the reusable containers for the 360 that we've been dealing with since 2020. They don't like changing. Maybe that was 2019. It was right about that time. I don't know. I had a new baby. Time kind of blurs together. So definitely an improvement. Now they also added some new smart functionality. So their app says that there's a pump timer coming soon. A pump timer is what allows you to tell your pump to turn off at a different time. So right now it's auto set to 25 minutes, but it does look like they'll get the ability to customize it. So if you're somebody who should only be pumping for 10, maybe 15 minutes, you're going to be able to shut it off at that, which I think is going to be really helpful because a lot of people, when they're pumping with wearables, are not looking to have to pay attention to the wearable in that active moment. Because otherwise, if you wanted to pay active attention to your pump, why would you use a wearable instead of using a little bit more efficient technology? So I think that's an improvement. They also added the ability to program your suction. So for most people, there will be a stimulation setting or an expression setting that their body just really likes. Previously, you had the ability to manually control it. You either controlled it by using the buttons or you controlled it by using the app, but you had to like set it every time. Now we're going to have the ability to auto program it in, which means if you like stimulation 2 and expression 3, you can do that. So then all you have to do is either hit the change mode button on the app or hit the change mode button in your bra, which is actually really easy to do based on the location. It's just the most interior button. So you just keep pushing that button to get what you're looking for. I also saw the new ones come with stickers. So previously, the old models had left and right written on the initial hub. But then if you had to get a replacement hub, which almost everybody's had to get a replacement hub from Willow at some point, you then didn't have a sticker on it. And that actually drove me crazy because then you had these unlabeled hubs and people were having to do things like I had to make little labels for mine. But I mean, I guess you could have put them in any bra, but it really bothered me, particularly if it was an unmatched set. So like you had a left hub and then you had a blank hub. It drove me crazy. But now you have these little stickers and they did make them this kind of like neon green. I'm not sure why they went with that green. It's the green that's on their website, but it doesn't match their green. I don't know, their branding's a little confusing. But it's really easy to see, which makes it really easy to know which side to put it on, which is helpful so that if you have an issue with a hub, it's easier to identify it because that hub is marked. Almost all wearables have that ability, except the like low end ones where you can't really designate it as left or right. All of the kind of fancy ones, they do have that ability, which I think is really helpful. So I think these updates are great. I think the biggest thing is they changed the suction. The suction is actually improved from where it was originally. The cycle speeds went up a little bit. I think this is going to be a much more solid performing wearable in 2025. I'm fingers crossed hoping that they don't take those features away. Again, they changed it before in order to kind of help with some of the motor death, but I think this is a step in the right direction. This suggests to me that Willow's getting back on track. There for a while, they were slipping as a luxury brand and they were really not producing the results. But I think we're going to see an improvement in that. So hopefully 2025 is going to be a good year for Willow and we're not going to see as many of the shenanigans. I will also say their update process seems to be a little bit more smooth. So when you have to update the firmware, it seems to be a little less volatile. It's definitely connecting better. So hopefully their app is continuing to improve. It did seem like when they moved to the combined app, some of the issues we had with like the 3.0 app were addressed by the fact that now all their app is on the same platform and hopefully they're maybe attending to it a little bit better. But all in all, I think this is a really positive change for the Willow Go. I'm really excited to see how this pump continues to perform in 2025. And if you have any questions, please comment down below. Happy pumping.